What's up guys, it's Hubert from Strength and Honor Endurance Coaching. Today I'm going to share my top 5 tips to finish a marathon, endurance event or ultra marathon event. Stuff that I've seen as being greatly beneficial to me and a lot of people. Tip number 1, rate of perceived effort. I think 80% of the people that don't finish or fail DNF or whatever you want to call it, or quit on race day, fall into this first category. And it could be for various reasons. The top 3 I would say is running with people that's faster than them, getting caught up in the race hype or whatever's going on. And I think the most important one is people are getting, it's got a plan, they train, they've got a preconceived idea of what's going to happen in this race, and they're unable to adjust and recalibrate on the race day. And that could be for various reasons. It could be extremely hot, extremely cold. It is always very, very different than what you imagine. So the point I want to make is a lot of people train according to heart rate, or rate of perceived effort is the most common term used. And you've got to stay in that zone that is easy for you, the zone that you can maintain for a very long time. All the people that go out too fast or run with people and it's difficult for them to keep up, it's going to catch up with you, and you're going to be in trouble later on. So I think that's one of the biggest reasons people don't finish a race, is not staying in the zone that is easy for them to maintain in what they've trained in. So be mindful of that. If you've got to sacrifice a bit of time with somebody and fall behind or whatever, do it. You can always catch up later. Tip number 2, have a solid agreement with yourself as to what you're going to do there on that day. If I run 100 miles during my training period and on the start of race day and during that race, I've already got a mantra going that I'm saying to myself, I'm doing 100 miles. I'm doing 100 miles. Today, nothing less, I'm doing 100 miles. Because in that 100 miles, at some stage, stuff will get difficult, stuff might go wrong, and you'll get an option to bail out with some valid reasons as to, yeah, it's too hot, I've got this blister, or whatever the case may be. And that option will come from yourself. So you will have to have a solid agreement with yourself in place, reinforced, that you want to do yourself proud and know that exactly what you're there to do when that time comes. And you're probably going to use that a couple of times. Like myself, I had to remind myself, today I'm doing 100 miles. I'm carrying on, I'm moving forward, and when I'm at the finish line, that's when I'm done. So have that agreement with yourself, guys. Keep it, reinforce it, and make it an unbreakable pact, and promise to yourself that what you aim to do there, and what you will do, and what you are going to do, doesn't matter what. The third top tip for me is mindset, a way of looking at your race. I've seen so many people over the years, you sign up for a 100-kilometer race, for instance, and the whole time the mindset is that's slightly a little bit negative. You're starting at 0 and you're going to 100. And I've heard it so many times. People get to that 50k mark and I hear them say, I've done 50 more. I've got to do 50 more. We're only 20 kilometers in. Is that negative? Try and change that thing to, I only have 50 kilometers left. So I always say to myself, and that's the reality of a 100-kilometer race. You've paid a lot of money, you've done all this training, and you've got that 20 or 30 hours or whatever the case may be in the mountains, in these beautiful mountains, that journey to enjoy. From 0 to 100, that's all it is. At the end, you get a medal and you look at your Strava and a couple of people high five you, but then that thing is over. So you should look at, when you're at 50, you think, damn it, man, I only have 50 kilometers left. And I only have 40, 30, 20. You should somehow feel like running back a little bit and doing a bit extra just to get your money's worth. But if you can change your mindset of thinking that way, it will be a much more enjoyable and pleasant experience for you, and you don't think negative about it. But it's something that you need to practice, and almost want to say at times, lie to yourself a little bit. Tip number 4, nutrition. Most experienced runners will know what nutrition is about, but I'm going to say it in any case. It's 3 elements, electrolytes, sodium, and a lot of stuff, and then your liquid, solid calories, calorie intake, and water. So your body is trying to find equilibrium between energy used and taking in between these 3 elements while you're doing 100 miles, and taking into consideration that you're feeling different from day to day to day. It's almost an impossible juggling act to really get right. Some people get trained into it over time and you get to learn your body, but it's still, you can have an off day and it's very difficult. So the best thing you can do with nutrition, for me as well, and for me, is having a solid game plan going into the race of what my basic nutritional needs are, and keeping that topped and filled up the whole time and not falling behind on that. I have to say that you have to tweak maybe that a little bit. If it's very cold or very, very hot, your water intake is going to differ. So there's going to be minor adjustments to that plan compared to what's going to happen on race day. But mainly you've got to have a kind of a structured idea of what your needs are and sticking to that. I've seen people over the years, then you feel good and they forget about eating and drinking water and stuff, and they fall behind. And it's not impossible, but it's very difficult and you're putting yourself in a space that's unnecessary to do that, a difficult spot that could possibly jeopardize your race, result in a DNF, and medically put you in a dangerous spot, which you don't want to be. So try and stay on top of your nutrition, eat, drink water, and take all your electrolytes. Tip number 5, it's almost like a recap of all these things, but I've written this down on one of my shoes, and it's a saying, think what you think. So try and stay mindful of your thought process. I've seen a lot of people, you get into difficult stages and you're neglecting your nutrition, but the race is tough, and the option is there for them to quit, but I don't want to say, no, I've quit. But now they start doing stuff like neglecting to charge their batteries, or leaving a jacket at an aid station, or not taking their pills, or not eating, like I mentioned, like not eating enough food or drinking enough water. And it almost looks like they're subconsciously sabotaging their own races. It's not, I think, a conscious decision, but the body, I don't know how the body and the mind, everything's working in the background, but something there in the background is trying to give you a way out. So it's good to just, in general, every now and then, just think what you think and be mindful of your thought process. And in general, just keep all your compulsory gear, stuff that you crucially need to finish your race, your shoes, your socks, your nutrition, your headlamp, stuff that if it's not there, it's game over. Take note of all that stuff and stay on top of it and keep them in check and keep yourself in the race. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much. That's my top 5 tips. If there's anything else that you want to know, please comment below. As always, thank you very much for all the support, all the love, all the likes, shares, and comments. It's fantastic. I love you guys. It's amazing. So I've signed up for the UTD 100-mile race in the end of April. It's eight weeks from now. So there's going to be a lot of content towards the preparation and packing and all this stuff. And obviously then running that at 100 miles. And I think some of my training videos, I've got one building block that I can do before I taper for that UTD. And I'm just recovering from a cold as well, so it's a crazy time. But I'll put out some content on that. If there's anything else you want to know, please comment and below, and I'll try and share the experience that I've experienced. Thank you very much.